so we got the 40k galaxy is doomed. So why doesn't anyone just leave? They can't. What are we talking about? They can't. Where else they gonna go? Yo, that's all they know. Just like, bro, just like how we, like, you know, we only know, like, you know, our solar system. That's it. We can't, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, in the future with, like, some Elon Musk technology, you know, technology, I'm pretty sure, you know, we can definitely, you know, try to go somewhere. But, bro, like, where we gonna go? They're doomed. Oh, make sure you guys follow my Twitch down below. Twitch.tv/KingAndy with 2 Y's. First link in the description down below. I would love to see you guys over at my Twitch. And I'll see you guys there. Let's go. Let's go to the...
anyone other than the orcs. Countless sextillions of humans live in poverty and suffering, just being worked to death on jobs that don't even provide dental. The Eldar seem like they have it good until you realize that if they die, which, you know, they do pretty often, their souls are damned to eternal BDSM.
And one more, he said eternal BDSM. One more thing. Yo, if you're from the trenches, if you're from the hood in Warhammer, you're toast. You're done, bro. Bro, if you think the CIA is like the biggest like enemy to the hood in real life, bro, imagine what they're doing to people in the hood in Warhammer. Bro, imagine how many like adult shops and all types of like liquor stores and stuff like that and places next to the hood. Bro, they got them boys in a chokehold. No John Jones. For real.
The galaxy is full of demons, witches, monsters, war, and suffering. So why don't the people just leave? What is stopping someone from just like flying to the edge of the galaxy in a cell?
Well, how they gonna how they gonna leave? Hey, listen, I'm not here to like try to make fun of people who don't got bread or nothing, but bro, how you gonna? Where you gonna go? Where can you go, bro? How somebody in the trenches in the hood and Compton of Warhammer, how they gonna build a ship and leave? Because guess what? Whenever they build that ship, let's say they make the ship in a day. Whenever they build that ship, guess what? It's gonna be gone. it's gonna be gone overnight. You're gonna hear your ship power up while you sleep. You're like, yo, what's going on? At first, you're gonna look at your Xbox. You're gonna look at your PS4. You're like, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe it's my PS4 loading up. You know, it sounds like a jet anyway. We're in 2025. And then you're like, hold up, like I made a ship, like I made a spaceship. Like, what's going on? And then you see a spaceship just, just lift off, blast off, like the Jetsons. Like, bro, it's gonna be stolen anyway. It's the hood, bro. Everything gets stolen in the hood, bro. Do y'all know how many times my bike got stolen, y'all? Off my front porch, bro. My bike. Home, bro. Houdini disappeared like magic. I never forget that, bro. I was sour, bro. And I'm pretty sure, like, and listen, I'm not saying that, you know, you could be from a you know, suburb neighborhood, whatever, and have your bike stolen. But here's the thing, though, that's very, 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 very rare. In the hood, bro, in the trenches, man, if you have a mongoose out there, yo, that thing is gone, bro. That thing is that thing is, bro. Done. Out of here. Gone.
Self-sustaining spaceship and then just keep going? The answer is a lot, and it is quite horrifying. But despite that, people from pretty much every race and faction have given escaping the galaxy a red hot go, or at least a thought. Before we get started, it's common knowledge that I'm not one. Let's start with what we know is out there and how we know it. The first one, and I guess the biggest issue with trying to fuck off the Milky Way, is that there is a shitload of Tyranids out there. Tyranids originated from outside of the Milky Way, so it's a no-brainer that they would still have a lot, if not most of their force still out there. This is backed up by the fact that during the Silent King's 60 million year vacation outside of the Milky Way, he said that not only were the Tyranids the main thing he encountered, but they were also the most dangerous. So your first problem with leaving the galaxy is that there is a bunch of space bugs of death ready to nom on your ass.
And also, bro, this is Warhammer, bro. You never know what type of creepy crawly things be out in space just looking for you. Bro, you might look like a Uncrustable to them. For real, that peanut butter and jelly, you know, with the one side having like a little purple in it, because you know that side is filled with jelly. You know what I'm talking about. Bro, you're a snack to them. You never know what type of little entity is just wandering in space, waiting for you to do something. Bro, you might even have some type of you might have some diabolical, deviant, just menaces in space pretending to be moons or something. As soon as you go past, your spaceship is done. It's over with, bro. They chomping on you. legs, booty, everything, just eviscerated.
It
Gone.
was actually his wars against the Tyranids during this holiday that made the Silent King choose them as his arch nemesis. However, in reality, a bunch of hibernating Tyranid hive fleets on their way to the Milky Way isn't much of an issue if you're careful. Why would they chase one exploration ship or fleet when the real meal is in front of them? No, the main issue is the fact that there is an extremely far distance to the next galaxy, and no real way to navigate there when you go faster than the speed of light. Although the warp is a universal thing, the Astronomicon is not, and as soon as you leave its range, you are effectively blind in the warp. This is why Macarius' legendary crusade ended. They got to the edge of the Astronomicon and literally couldn't proceed further without massively increasing the risk of getting raped by demons. Humanity during the Dark Age of technology did not need the Astronomicon, as their Men of Iron AI were able to accurately navigate the warp, but since Men of Iron are a no-no as well as AI, this method is no longer available to the Imperium. There was actually a Men of Iron ship from the Dark Age that travelled to the future of 40k. Its pilot and friend was killed as a heretic, so the ship raged, fucked up a bunch of Space Marines and Imperial fleet single-handedly before saying, "Fuck this galaxy, I'm out." It then proceeded to leave the Milky Way in the search of a new home. This sounds like a stupid temper tantrum, until you realize that it can navigate the warp fine without the Astronomicon. The warp in between galaxies is very calm due to there being next to no life out there and robots don't need to eat. So no, the Imperials haven't really been able to venture out of the Milky Way. In old lore, they did send out some probes, and the info they got back was horrifying, basically just the sounds of nothingness and orcs. However, this was very old lore and doesn't make much sense in the current setting, so take it with a grain of salt. The only Imperials that you could say that regularly venture out of the galaxy for extended periods of time are the Space Sharks, but that's more so them acting like a void-stalking predator that orbits the Milky Way rather than an exploration fleet that is trying to leave. The one Mechanicus Magos that tried, because he was an explorer and that's what they do, vanished without a trace. Any who attempted to discover his fate were met with grisly ends of their own. So
You know what that mean? You know what that mean, bro. He got packed up like Amazon. Bro, it's over for him. GG's. You know what happened to him. Stop playing. You know what happened to him. And then, yo, Majorkill followed up by saying, yo, if you even try to even investigate what happened to him, you're getting packed up as well. So what does that make me think? That makes me think that, yo, the first dude, he went out bad. And bro, if you even try to be Adrian Monk, if you try to be Sherlock Holmes, it's over with.
What about the Eldar? They have their self-sustaining craft worlds who are only threatened by shit within the Milky Way.
Yo, can I keep it real? Like their little ship or whatever, bro, gives me like the heebie-jeebies, like the heebie-jeebies or something. Like, bro, honestly, it just like makes me like scratch my arms a little bit.
Would they escape Slaanesh if they left? Surely they should all just leave, shouldn't they? No, of course not. Fucking retard. Slaanesh's claim on the Eldari's souls isn't bound by time or space. If they left the Milky Way, Slaanesh would follow. If they died a trillion light years away from the Eye of Terror, their soul would still return to the Prince of Pleasure. On top of that, the Webway doesn't extend beyond the Milky Way, so they'd lose their ability to travel faster than light. Even if they were able to travel at light speed, it would still take them around 25,000 years to get to the next galaxy. This also creates the issue of Spirit Stones. The Craftworlders need the Spirit Stones to protect their souls from Slaanesh. These stones can only be found within the Eye of Terror on the old Eldar Crone worlds. Hence, the Eldar's craftworld populations would be restricted by how many stones they were able to collect before they left. As Eldar only lived for like max 10,000 years, the entire craftworld would be nothing but a bunch of wraith constructs by the time they reached the next galaxy. On top of that, the Eldar still need to charge their craftworlds using stars. Sure, each charge gives them enough power for a millennium or so, but that's still a lot shorter than 25,000 years. So no, the Eldar cannot just leave the Milky Way, nor
Yo, how many years is it a millennium? Is that like, let me see. A century's 100. Hold up, y'all, hold up. The noodle's working. The noodle is working. Hold up. A century is 100 years. Millennium has to be like millennium. Is that like 1,000? I think so. I'm gonna search it up real quick.
There any incentive for them to do so. The only practical way they could leverage the darkness beyond would be to leave the Milky Way for a millennium, come back to pick up spirit
Bro, he said millennium a bunch.
charge their solar sails before going out again. However, even this strategy has issues. One Eldar Craftworld actually did try to leave the Milky Way, pretty much employing the strategy I just mentioned.
It's 1,000 years, y'all. Let's go, bro. I knew I was so smart. Let's go, yo.
Craftworld Xysuthra left the galaxy just before Slaanesh's birth, and they tried to survive in the void between galaxies. However, they didn't collect any spirit stones, hence realized that they were being slowly consumed. They were soon found by Tyranids who implanted their gene stealers onto the Craftworld and then moved on. The Craftworld chose to embrace the gene stealers. By doing so, they protected their souls from Slaanesh and were able to survive in the darkness. But not indefinitely. They had to return to the galaxy when shit started to break down. Eventually, the Ynnari arrived on the Craftworld and massacred the tainted Eldar. But overall, it was a good example of what would happen to the Eldar if they tried to leave. What about the Orcs? Have they given it a crack?
Man, I hope that, man. Oh, you know what? Let me chill out. Man, you know what, bro? I'm standing on business, bro. I hope they don't leave. I hope they suffer. Yep, I said it. Yeah, I said it. I know. Everybody in the comments is, oh, why would you say that? Let me explain why I said that. Bro, these bums right here, bro, all they do is fight. Bro, they're meatheads. They're knuckleheads, bro. All they do is fight. They don't do nothing else. Like, bro, you're not Goku, bro. Like Goku, he loves to fight, but like, it's competition. And it's a 1v1. These dudes, like, they like to jump you and do all this type of weird stuff. We're not even interacting with these fools, bro. These guys are bumps. For real, for real. Let's keep it real for what it is. Yo. Hey, let's really keep it 1,000 wowsing with it. These guys are bumps. I can't believe people like these dudes. Y'all like these dudes? Really? My community like these dudes? Really? Man, yo. Call me a hater, but I'll never give them no props. Never. Hey, I'm standing on it. Standing on business. I will never give these dudes props, ever. And I know I'll come off as a hater. You know what? Hey, I'll embrace it. For this one video, I'll embrace it as a hater. I'll embrace it as a Orcs hater. And yo, don't get me started with that WA stuff. I swear to God, yo. Hey, yo. Hey. Yo. I dare somebody in the comments to scream out why. It's over with. I promise you. It's over. Yeah, bro. You're done for. I dare you to scream out why in this comment section. I dare you to. I can't stand that either. For real.
Well, as I said, the Imperial probe did pick up Orc transmissions from neighbouring galaxies. That transmission was actually quite grimdark. It implied that one half of the universe was full of Orcs and the other half was silent and dead, likely as a result of the Tyranids eating it. This is very old lore though, so I wouldn't use it as a crutch. The Orcs within the Milky Way have no interest in leaving. They get all the fun, battles, and bloodshed that they could ever want right here at home. On top of that, their ships are literal rust bucket pieces of shit that would not go so hot in between galaxies. So unless some surviving old ones that left the galaxy at the end of the War in Heaven brought a few spores with them, which to be honest that's pretty likely, then the Orcs haven't been able to leave the galaxy just yet. The Tau can't even leave their own fucking backyard, let alone the galaxy, so I'm not even going to spend time on them. As I mentioned with the Necrons, the Silent King has done quite a lot of out of Milky Way travelling. Necrons are perfect for this. Their travel doesn't rely on the warp, they don't need food or consumables to stay alive, and their equipment doesn't really break down, or at least it takes a shitload of time to do so. So if any race was to successfully leave the galaxy, then it would be the Necrons. The only thing really stopping them is their pride. They see themselves as the rightful heirs to the Milky Way.
Hey, they don't gotta move. Hey, the Necrons, yo, they're let me say their name correctly. Sorry, Mr. Necrons. Bro, they'll pull up on you. They pulled up on me, y'all. I know I told the story 3-4 times, but I say it again. They pulled up on me quick. Yeah. What was you saying about us? Yo, I had like 8 green beams. I had like 8 green beams to my face. What did you say about us? Like, they had like a little robotic voice and everything. I had to swallow my ego. You know how hard that is for a man to do, swallow his ego in the midst of danger? Ever since then, they put me in check like Nike. What did you say about us? Don't say that again. Like, bro, they had 8 beams to my face. I was like, you know what, bro? You're right. Hey, bro, I'm not afraid to put my ego down, especially to survive. Yep. You know what, bro? Hey, I'm weak, soft, lame. Yep. I is. You know what, bro? My bad. guys, it was just a joke. We don't want jokes. We don't like jokes. Like, that's what they were saying. And I was like, all right, you know what? It is what it is. So ever since then, y'all, like, bro, Majorkill, bro, pipe down. Don't do it. They will pull up on you. They'll pull up to Australia fast. They pull up they pulled up on me in the US quick, expeditiously. Bro, it don't it don't take them that long to pull up to Australia, bro. They'll pull up to Australia tomorrow. Yeah.
A Necron overlord would rather shove a pencil down his dickhole while cheese grating his scrotum than abandon his tomb world and dynasty. The Necrons aren't here to survive, they are here to dominate. Something quite interesting now. Do the C'tan exist outside of our galaxy? The C'tan were created during the Big Bang, fundamental gods of reality. They started off as non-sentient star parasites who would slowly eat suns then move on. It was only after they were given bodies by the Necrons did they gain sentience. However, for the other galaxies, they too likely would have gotten their own C'tan. The Void Dragon even claims that he had a multi-galaxy spanning empire, which is probably just the writer getting a bit excited, but could also mean that each galaxy's C'tan were like a mirror of each other, maybe able to communicate or something. So the Void Dragon of the Andromeda Galaxy could have a shared consciousness with the Void Dragon of the Milky Way. This is just me spitballing and could be total bullshit. After all, I'm basically just trying to justify the ill-conceived writings, but it is an interesting concept nonetheless.
They can do whatever they want, bro. Hey, as a matter of fact, they passport unlimited. Never runs out. They don't gotta never renew it or nothing. They can go wherever they want to go. They can leave. I feel like in my opinion, see, they even making me stutter. In my opinion, bro, I feel like they can leave whenever they want.
So what is out there? Definitely Tyranids, and a shitload of them if the Silent King was able to bump into them out in the near infinite void between the galaxies. Maybe orcs as well, and if so, then probably a few surviving old ones. There is actually a theory that the Nids are a creation of the old ones, a hard reset button designed to get vengeance against the galaxy that spat them out. However, this plagiarizes Halo lore a bit too much, so I'm kinda hoping it's not the case. The Silent King also described many other horrors, but the Tyranids were the worst, so we don't really need to worry too much about them. The Warhammer writers have come out and said that they are deliberately leaving the lore regarding outside the Milky Way very vague, as to encourage the readers' imaginations and not to take all the mystery away. Okay. Regardless of what's out there and regardless of how shit the Milky Way is, leaving it has time and time again proven to be a really fucking terrible idea. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel—
Hey man, shout out to Majorkill, man, for this video. Always come through with bangers, but some of these people, some of these squads or whatever, they can't leave. The Necrons, they can leave whenever they want. That's how I feel. If you're from the trenches in Warhammer, GG's. You better endure it. You better endure it. You better hold on, bro. Hey, keep grinding, bro. Just keep grinding, because I'm gonna keep it real. You not building no shit. Listen, if you're from Compton and Warhammer and you can build a spaceship and you can blast off, hey, you get all my respect. You get all my respect, man. Comment down below. What do you guys think about this one? Make sure you guys follow my Twitch down below. I'm actually live right now as I speak. But you guys come through, and I would love to see you guys, over at my Twitch, y'all. I'm actually playing some Warhammer Dark Tide again. And other than that, y'all, thank y'all so much for coming through. Peace out, everybody.